All right, this way, if anybody's absent or you guys missed anything, you guys can go back and watch it anytime. My name's Kimberly from A Sprinkle of Fun. And with me today, I have Jessica. Miss Jessica is on and she's going to give you guys the directions in the chat and help out with some games in between. So if you guys have any questions, you guys could unmute at any time or type it in the chat and she can help. Right now, everybody should have their canvas in front of them, unwrapped, ready to go. 2 brushes, a cup of water, and your paint strip should be open. All right, it looks like from what I see, everybody looks like they're pretty much ready to go. So I had given you guys 2 brushes. Wait, I just see one class is opening their paint, so we're just gonna give them a minute. But in the meantime, I had given you guys 2 brushes. One is bigger, one is smaller. The smaller brush is going to be more like your drawing brush, and your bigger brush is going to be more to fill in, to color in all the shapes that we draw. So we are going to start with the small brush today. And like I said, we're just going to make some shapes. And then once we fill them in, you're going to see that it's going to look like a penguin. I just want to make sure everybody is ready to go with the paint and everything. All right, looks like we are ready to go. All right, so we're going to start with the small brush today. We are not going to put this brush in the water unless I tell you to. So if you did happen to put it in the water already, just take it out and dry it off. It's very important that your brush stays dry while we're painting. So again, the small brush. And you can see how I'm holding my canvas here. It's a long ways, not sideways. So make sure that's in front of you the right way. Yep. All right, and put it down on the table. So it's really important now. I know you get excited in your painting and you want to pick it up and show your friends what you did so far. It's really important that you guys leave your canvas on the table the whole time we're painting. If you keep picking it up and something spills on it, like water, the paint will not stick to your canvas. So we don't want that to happen. So everybody can leave their canvases flat on the table while we're painting. What we're going to do first is we're going to make 2 different shapes. It's going to be a circle right in the middle of your canvas. That's going to be for your penguin's head. We're going to use the light blue color and we're going to add a circle. So I'm going to put it on here to show you guys, and then you can copy. So you can see on my canvas, I have enough room left on top for his hat and still room on the bottom for his body. 1 circle right in the middle. All right, once you have that, just hold your brush because we're still going to be using the same color, same brush. So just hold it for now. And now we're going to make another circle right underneath for the body. And once you're done with that circle, it's kind of going to look like a snowman. So right now, all you should have on your canvas is 2 circles that look like a snowman. And again, just hold your brush. We're going to use it again. Okay. Now we're going to make 2 lines so we can separate the sky from the snow. Right in the middle of your bottom circle, we're going to make a line coming out the side. So bottom circle right in the middle. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now we have our penguin's head, body, snow, and sky. And hold that brush again. We're going to still use the same thing. We're still just drawing. All right, now we're going to sketch the penguin's hat. So right on top, that circle we made first, the head, right on top of there, we're going to make a rectangle. And remember, we're just sketching, we're not filling anything in yet. You won't even see these lines later. So right on top, rectangle for his hat. Okay, it looks like everybody's good. So teachers, I'm going by what I see from the camera as far as if the kids are caught up or not. So if I'm going too fast, I can't really see the kids in the back. So just let me know if you think I'm going too fast. I can only see the kids in the front. Okay, so next we need the top of the hat, which is going to be like an arch, but we're not going to go all the way to the end of the rectangle. We're going to move over a little bit. I'm going to make like a rainbow. So you can see I didn't go all the way to the edge of the hat. All right, and this is what you should have so far. All right, now I'm going to ask you guys to put your small brush in the water and leave it there. We're going to move to the big brush now. And we're going to start coloring in, filling in. So small brush can go in the water, leave it there. And your big brush, make sure it's dry. Now we're going to use the big brush. So the first thing we're going to do with the big brush, we're going to fill in the penguin. And we're going to use the color white. And we'll start with the first circle on top. Big brush, white, and you're going to fill in that circle. We don't want to use too much paint. Make sure you really spread the paint out. Otherwise, it'll take too long for your penguin to dry. So once you put the paint on the canvas, use your brush to spread that paint out. Nice and even. And we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. That bottom circle, we're going to fill that in with the white paint. Now the line in between the top circle and the bottom circle, you see this line here? You're also going to paint over that. All right, I'm going to give everybody a minute to finish that up, fill in those two circles. Okay, so your top circle should be filled in, your bottom circle, and the line between both should be filled in. And just hold that brush for now because we're still going to use white. I see some of you are still painting. So those of you who are done with that part, just hold your brush up for me for a minute. So I can see, for the most part, we're ready to move on, I think. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, now we're going to do the snow and the sky. Since we already have white on a brush, we'll do the snow first. So everything under this line that we made is going to be the snow, and we're going to fill that in with white. So let's do that now. Big brush, white, and fill in under that line. And go around your penguin. So you want to still see this line. So don't go over that line because that's your guideline. I'm just going to fill in the snow around it. Okay, so you can see I filled in my white and I still can see the blue lines that I made. We want to keep those for now. And when you're done, just hold your brush. I still see a few kids painting, so I'm going to give them another minute. All right, now we're still using the big brush, but what we're going to do, take your paper towel and we're just going to wipe the paint off the brush. We're not going to clean it. We're just wiping some of that white paint off onto the paper towel. You're not going to get it perfectly clean. We just need it a little dry, but it's okay if there is still see some white on there. All right, now we're going to fill in the sky. So everything on top of this line, we're now going to fill in with blue. All this up here, you're going to go around your penguin, around his hat, and fill everything up here blue. So you're going to carefully go around your penguin. And then carefully around his hat. And then fill in everything on top of that line. And you can see how I keep going back and forth to spread the paint out. We don't want to see any big globs of paint on the canvas. It should be nice and smooth. And also, if you put big globs on the canvas, you're wasting a lot of paint. So keep spreading your paint out. And this is what you should have when you're finished. But take your time. Go around your penguin, around the hat. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a minute or two to catch up on that. All right, and teachers, while the kids are finishing up on this part, this is the part where they're going to need a piece of paper and something to write with, because at this point we have to let the canvas dry before we can move on. So we're going to play a little game, but I'm going to give them another minute or two to finish up this part. If you are finished with this part, both brushes should be in the water and you can leave them there. Okay, I still see a few classes that are painting, so we'll let them finish up. And we're going to take a little break so our painting can dry. And everybody's arm is probably hurting by now from all that filling in the paint. All right, it looks like a good amount of you are finished. So during this part, our canvas has to dry before we can move on and add anything else. So it's really important during this part that you guys do not do any more painting, because we need this to dry, and it's not going to dry if you keep painting. Then when we all start later, your canvas will be wet and it won't work. So during this time, everybody should be done with painting and brushes should be in the water. Remember, no more painting now until we're ready to go again. And we're going to play a little game while our painting is drying. So I'm going to have Miss Jessica come on and explain the rules of the game. Let me just share the screen. Okay.
Okay. If all the classes can unmute for this, because after we are done, we're going to go over our answers. Okay, so this game is called Categories. This is what you're going to do. You're going to get a letter in this box here, and you're going to get all different categories from 1 through 12 here. You're going to answer each one of these categories with a word that begins with the letter. So here your letter is T. So The first category is board games. You would think of a board game that begins with the letter T and you'd write it down. So you'd write number 1 and then your answer. And then you go on to the second one, number 2, and then your answer. But make sure it starts with the letter T. All your answers have to start with the letter T, okay? You're gonna be timed. I'm gonna time you guys. You're gonna get 2 minutes. So everybody should be really quiet and really focused. And then we're gonna go over our answers, okay? So let me just get my timer going. You will get 2 minutes. And are we ready? Good to go, good to go. Okay, I'm starting the timer. Go.
Start writing. What's the board game that starts with T?
You have a question? Oh, okay. Okay, if you don't know the answer, if you don't have an answer for one of them, if you can't think of something, just go on to the next one because you are being timed. You have 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Thirty seconds left. Okay, pencils or pens down. Whatever you're writing with, put it down. We're gonna go over our answers. I don't know if the teachers want to unmute for this, for the answers, unless you want to go over it with them, but okay, I can see that class 304, I can hear you guys. So number 1, for board games, what did we get? You can call out your answers.
Tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe. It actually has 3 T's. You would get 3 points for that. Give yourself 3 points if you got tic-tac-toe. Anything else?
Oh, yes. No, she's not number 1. What? Titles? I'm not, yeah, I haven't heard of that. I don't know. Title, she said. No, it's a game that starts with T. Good try, though. I love your effort. I'm not sure what that, if that's a game.
How about Twister?
Wait, sorry. Twister?
Yeah, okay, number 2, things that have buttons that start with the letter T.
T-shirt. There's a T-shirt.
A T-shirt, yes, or a TV, a television. Number 3, types of weather.
Oh, we got that. What did you say? Greta? Thunder.
Thunder,
Tornado.
tornado, or Twister. Number 4, cartoon characters.
Tom and Jerry. Thomas the
Tom and
Train.
Jerry.
And then they said Thomas the Train.
Tom The Train, Tom and Jerry, yes, good answers. Number 5, states that start with the letter T, a state.
No, that's, okay, Tibet, she said, but I don't know, like, that's not a state.
Texas,
Texas,
Tennessee,
Tennessee, no, it has to be the United States, one of the states. Trinidad and.
number 6, candy. Anybody
Okay.
have a type of candy?
Tootsie
Starts
Roll,
with the letter T?
Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll, I didn't think of that. Tootsie Roll. Number 7, movie titles.
Tortoise. The Tortoise movie, what else?
Oh, I never heard of that.
That's Titanic.
Okay, get top friends.
Give yourself a point if you got that. Let's go on to number 8, breakfast foods. Did anybody get that? Starts with T.
I got tomato. You said tomato? Anyone else? No?
Tomato. How about toast?
Oh,
Number 9, things in a theme park.
start with these, try to keep the number of people. I thought. The theme park, we'll start the team. No, it is a theme park. What is a theme park? Yeah. No, that's an
I think someone just said something.
things that are in a theme park, which means like a theme park is an amusement park.
Yeah.
Start.
Okay, number 10, under the sea, things under the sea that start with a T.
Turtle.
Yes, turtle. I'm sure everybody got that one, right? Number 11, a 5-letter word that starts with the letter T. Anybody get a 5-letter word?
Tiger.
What about number 12, a boy's name?
It says number T.
Tyler. Thomas, yes. All right, good job, everybody. I hope you got all 12 points. Let me just check with Miss Kimberly and see if we can get back to our painting. Kim, how
Yeah,
we-
we should be good to go.
we should be good to go. All right, good job, everybody.
All right, guys, we're ready for the second half of our painting. Everything should be pretty much dry for what we need to do next. And both your brushes were in the water. You're gonna leave your big brush in there and clean the small brush. So make sure your small brush is clean and then dry it on the paper towel. So for our next part, we're gonna start filling in the little details and features of our penguin. So first, we're going to outline our penguin using black. So we have our small brush, nice and dry. We're going to take black and we're going to outline and trace our penguin, but we are not going to trace the hat. So when we're doing the top of the penguin, we're going to stop right there. Right where the hat starts is where we're going to stop. All right, so you could start outlining your penguin with that black. If you guys are not sure, you could always look up here, see what I'm doing first. You're going to trace around, outline your penguin. You could also see I made the line on the bottom half of the penguin. That line is a little thicker than the top. So you guys can do that too. And hold your brush. We're still going to be using the same brush with the black. Next, we're going to add his little fins, his arms, and on each side, I'm going to make like a triangle. You do that on both sides because he needs his hand on the other side as well. Just like this. And once you have those fins, you can fill it in with the black. All right, so everybody should have the black outlined, 2 fins. And since we already have black on our brush, we're gonna do his eyes next. So for the eyes, we're gonna make 2 circles using the black. And then once our penguin has 2 eyes, we are finished with the black, so we can clean the small brush. So small brush can go in the water, clean it off. Now you're not going to get all that black off of your brush, but as long as it's dry, should be good. So when we take it out, make sure we dry it good on the paper towel. And then once you have your brush nice and dry, brushes up so I can see who's ready. All right, perfect. Next, we're gonna move to the orange for his feet and his little beak. So we'll start up here. For his beak, we're gonna make a triangle. This triangle is gonna be like an upside down triangle. In between his eyes, we'll move down a little bit. And we're gonna put that upside down triangle. All right, now normally I would have you guys add the feet next. I'm not going to do that now because we just used the black. It's probably still a little wet. So we're going to go back to that later. For now, clean the brush and dry it on the paper towel. And we're going to move to his hat next. So make sure your brush is clean and dry. And we're going to take green. We're going to fill in his hat. So we're going to fill in that rectangle we made first. Fill in that rectangle. And then we could fill in the arch on top. Now we're also going to take some green because you can see the penguin's wearing a scarf. And we're going to go under his neck, right under here, right under his head. And we're going to put a line with the green right in there. Now, when you put your line in here, when you get to the end of the scarf right over here, you can make little lines. And we're still going to use the green. We're going to add a tree. I'm just going to wait for everybody to finish up on the scarf and the hat. And we're going to add a tree together. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a tree on this side. If you don't have room, usually we put a tree on this side and a tree on this side. If you only have room on one side, that's fine. You don't need to have two trees. All right, let's do the tree together. So we're still using the small brush with the green. Pick whatever side you want your tree to be on. And you see the line we have here, the line that separates the blue from the white. We're going to make one green line going up from there. Now you guys can watch this part before you actually do it. For the branches on the tree, we're going to start on the top and we're going to go down with the line. And under that, down a line. Under that, another line, all the way down. You're going to do that on both sides. Line, line. And then, like I said, if you have room on the other side of your penguin for a tree, you can add another one. If you don't have room, it's okay. One tree is fine. I think I have a little bit of room, so I'm going to put another tree on the other side. And they don't have to be the exact same size. One could be big, one could be small, if you are making two trees. Again, if you don't have room, it's okay. Your canvas is not ruined. Everybody paints a little different. Your penguin may be really big, really small. When you are finished with your trees, you can put your brush back in the water. I'm gonna clean it off. Okay, I'm gonna give everybody a minute because I see they're still painting some trees. We only have about 3 steps left. Make sure you clean your brush, dry it off, because we're going to go to a different color now. All right, it looks like everybody's caught up. So let's take the brush that's nice and dry. We're going to go back to the orange and add his feet. And for this step, very simple. We're going to make 3 lines right on the bottom where his feet are going to go. And you're just going to go 1, 2, 3 on each side. And then you can clean your brush. We have 1 more color to use. So let's clean that brush. And the last color we're going to use today is the white. So make sure your brush is dry. And we're just going to take a little bit of white. We're going to add a few details. And we're going to start with the scarf. White, we're just going to add some stripes in his scarf. So I added 4 lines in there. And I'm also going to do that with the rim of his hat, just the rectangle piece. I'll put 4 stripes in there. And right on the top of his hat, we're going to put a little pom-pom. So you can make either a little circle or some lines, just so it looks like there's a little something on the top of his hat. And hold on to your brush, don't put it in the water. We still have to add the snow. All right, for this next part, we still have our brush. Our small brush. What we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it over. So we're gonna use the side, the end side, the side without the hairs, without the bristles. That's the side we're gonna use for the next part. You're gonna dip that side in the white. And very carefully, that's how we're gonna add the snow. Do not press too hard on your canvas. You will go right through and put a hole in it. So I'm gonna use the other side of my brush. And first I'm gonna add 2 white dots in the penguin's eyes. Remember, nice and light. We don't want to press too hard. And that's how we're going to make our snow. Nice and light. Don't press too hard. And you can see I'm just adding a few snowflakes, not too many. We don't want to make it look like a blizzard, just a little light snow around our penguin. All right, and that was the last step to our penguin painting. So you guys can finish up your snow, and when you're finished, put your brushes in the water. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go class by class and ask you guys to hold your canvases up, but wait till I call your class. So you guys can finish up. If you're finished, put your brushes in the water. Let's see, I'm gonna look and see what class I think is finished here. All right, so it looks like 304 is pretty much done. So 304, if you can carefully take your canvas and hold it up so that I can try and get a nice picture of everybody. All right, keep holding them up. Great. Oh, they look great. That's my favorite part, to see everybody's different paintings. All right, 304, thank you. Let me see. It looks like 203 is all finished. So 203, same thing. You guys can hold your paintings up. Be careful with your water. Great. All right. Uh, 202.
I'm just asking them to turn the lights on.
Yeah, it's a little dark.
Miss Manessis, can you put the lights on for the picture? It's too dark.
I thought it was the camera.
No, it's the class. The lights are off.
Okay.
It's easier for them
Oh, there we go.
to see the screen.
All right, looks great. Oh, now we got both lights on. All right, 309. 309, you guys can hold yours up.
Everyone should be seated, though. The person who's standing in the front needs to be seated.
All right, did we do 203?
201, I think, is still needs to be done. Right, Mr. Orhan? We didn't do you yet, did
Yeah,
we?
I didn't do that class yet. All right, let's do 201. All right, 201, canvas is up. Looking good. All right, did I get all of the classrooms? I believe I did. All right, guys. Well, thank you for painting with us today. I hope you had fun. And hopefully we can do this again. And then Miss Cregan, if you can just stay on a moment. I
Sure.
just had a question for you.
No poise. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You can sign off whenever you're ready. Say goodbye. And one more class. Miss Maratodi, if you would just sign off.
I just put her in the waiting room.
Okay. There you go.
Let me stop.